What up, my goats? My name is Tote, and I'm still sick. But I'm here. I'm here to entertain the masses. Well, okay, select few people, but I'm here for you. You know who you are. So yesterday in the video, we talked about a lot of different random things, but we talked about board games, and I told you I would introduce you to my favorite board game, and I'm going to do that. But first, let me tell you why I like board games. Board games is probably one of my favorite activities, and the reason for that being is that it's really easy to just bring a whole group of friends together and play a board game, and everybody just enjoy being together. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. Yeah, you've got the competitive nature, and I'm real competitive, okay? But it doesn't ruin it for me if I lose, and most people are that way too. It's more about being together and sometimes a common goal, sometimes being against each other, but just coming together and having a good time. And that's why I enjoy board games. Plus beating people. I like beating people as well. That competitive, winning. I like board games to win. So let me tell you a little bit about the board game I have for you today. That is Betrayal. Did I get it right? Is this right? Okay, yeah. Betrayal at the House on the Hill. I always want to put haunted in there, but it's not haunted. Well, it is haunted. We'll get to that. So this board game, the reason I like it is it's got a lot of strategy to it. It's different every time that you play it because the pieces move around, and there's just a lot of different things going on with the board game, so you don't get bored with the board game, which maybe isn't... I think we're good. So, basically, in this board game, you're Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Gang. Okay, you go into a haunted house with a group of individuals who are... Really, there's no reason that they should be together, but the game does explain why they're together. But you go into this haunted house, you're locked in, and now you've got to just rummage about in this person's house to figure out what happened. Why are you in there? What's going on? How do you get out? Nobody knows. So you're all playing a game together. This is a co-op game, sort of, where you're all working towards a common goal. That's to get out of the creepy house that you're in. It's not haunted yet, but it's a creepy house. So everybody gets one of these little characters here, one of these little guys, and you become somebody. This guy can actually be two people. All of them can be two people, but you get little cards to tell you who you are. And there's somebody on the back too. Slightly different, but pretty much all similar stats and traits. If you'll see on there, these tell you, well, I'll turn it right side up. These tell you where your stats and traits are and how much life you have, kind of. Speed, knowledge, things like that. You go through the house. You start out in a room such as this one. This is the roof landing. This is actually an expansion portion of the house. But you go through it in hopes to solve the mystery. Each card has upper, ground, and basement. Some of them have all of them like that. Some of them only have one like that. But everything's a little bit different. Different rooms. You're basically flipping the lights on and going, what's in this room? Now, the fun part is, sometimes the rooms have a little symbol. This is the garden, and it has that little spiral symbol in it. And here you'll see the three different symbols you can have. This is a crow. That's an omen symbol. Here we have the lauder, which has a little, like, I don't know, it's like a skull, bull horns, whatever. And then we've got the little spiral symbol. And those reference these. So we have omens, events, and items. Basically, your item cards, these are usually good things. They're kind of like weapons. Some of them aren't necessarily like pokey, stabby, shooty, but they're more like roll some dice or solve a puzzle or a music box that puts people to sleep. So very interesting things. This one in particular, it's a candle. It makes shadows move. At least you hope they're shadows that are doing it. It can be a little bit of a scary board game, so not for the faint of heart. this one is an event. Now, most of these can either go good or bad. If an event is something you're going to roll dice for, depending on how much knowledge, speed, might, or sanity that you have on your player's card, depends how many dice you roll, depends on how high you can get the little thing. And then an omen card. Now these are the scary ones, okay? Now, this one's the spirit board, and for those of you who don't know, that's a Ouija board. And they're a little, these are the bad ones. These are the ones that make things happen. These are the ones that go bump in the night. So as you explore this game, you get more and more items, more events happen, and more omens happen. And each omen's like, because you have to make a haunt check. Now this is where you roll 6 die that are special die for the game, and when the number of die that you get, or the number that you get on the die, isn't higher than how many omens you have had in the game so far, well, basically, your house is haunted then. But who is haunting the house, you might ask? Well, that kind of depends. Because, based off of what room you're in, what room you're in, and who the character was that rolled the dice, determines who is the haunter and what haunt you're doing. What? You've totally lost me. Hold on. Stick with me. It'll all make sense in a moment. There are 50 different scenarios. This is the Trader's Tomb, which means, yes, there's a haunt chart. We have statistics that we have to follow, but you go down through here, you find the room that you're in, you find the person that rolled the dice, and then you say, okay, this is haunt number 45, because we were in the dining room, and the omen that happened was the madman, so it's haunt number 45, and with haunt number 45, the person who is the madman is the highest knowledge. So whoever at the table has the highest knowledge score at that time is now haunting the rest of you. They've gone crazy. Obviously, they're a madman at this point. So they take this book, they flip through it, they find haunt number 45, which would be in the back here, and it says tick, tick, tick. And it lists out everything that person needs to know about how to usually kill the other players and win the game. Now, the other players do have some secrets of their own. And that's where the survival guide comes into play. The survival guide, you flip through it, you go to haunt number 45, it says tick, tick, tick. It tells you how to kill the madman and exactly what's going on. However, you guys don't have the same information. The game's set up, so there's a little bit of mystery to it. And now your game has become an escape room game, and you either get killed by the madman, or sometimes some of you die, or sometimes you're all playing against each other. They're all different. There's 50 different ones, so the replayability is really high. And even if you do play the same one over again, the layout of the house can completely change, which can completely change the game. So this is one of my favorite games, just because every time you play it, it is going to be something different. I hate to cut it short today, but I do have to go judge a speech and debate tournament because, I don't know, people like that stuff. I don't know. This is my first time ever doing it, so wish me luck. You got any tips for me? By the time I get those tips, I'll have already judged the tournament, so I guess I'll let you know how it goes. I'm also going to go see the littlest pupper, so hopefully we get some footage of that guy. I'll share that with you tomorrow, possibly. I'm not promising anything. I'll try to upload tomorrow, though. Maybe. Until next time, guys. Catch you on the flip side.